Scene, all capital letters. SCEN is the Facebook fan page. YouTube, capital T, lowercase HE, all capital letters SCEN. 94 Feet of Life is the Facebook group. Instagram, THE.SCEN. We are everywhere. Talking the tournament. So we got our guys with us. We are going to pull a little double duty. As y'all can see, I'm not even looking at the game because I don't even want to be distracted. I'm not even going to look at it. So we got
y'all feel special.
LSU and Michigan playing as we are speaking. We also got FSU, Florida State, and Colorado. So my guys, if you see their faces change, you might get some live commentary. So just be prepared. We're doing a little double duty. But fellas, quick introductions. Trav, my main man out there in North Mississippi. Stem Rummy, you could tell when he get your stem because you wear robes like that. Drink the finest of grapes, so to speak.
The drapes.
Stem Rummy. And it's out there controlling the whole situation not behind the scenes and front of the scenes. Out there in Ohio is Germ. Fellas, where do we want to start? 2-year absence. We got our tournament back. Talk to me. How have y'all felt about this first weekend and now the start of the week with this tournament?
Grown man hoops is something you got to deal with. So all those step backs, that flopping, and that 18-year-old can't compare to this real shit.
That's exactly
what startup team winning.
MJ, that's a theme. We definitely want to hit on some more, but that has been the theme for like the last 4 to 5 years in this tournament.
Correct.
I think Tyus Jones and Okafor and them might have been the last young team to win a chip. Since the last 5 years, it's grown folks.
If you can't pick up the tab at Wet Willie's, you ain't gonna win a title.
You can't win it.
That's facts. Trav or Jern, whichever. Your first 3 or 4 day thoughts on this tournament.
Jern, you want to? Well, I'll go ahead and take it.
Yeah,
It went as wild as expected. I mean, you got some teams coming out of nowhere. Lower Chicago doing their same little magical run again. You got Oral Roberts doing the same thing again. I mean, hey, it may not be no fans like that, but the same scenarios and situations still happening in March Madness, man. It's just craziness, man. You never know.
And let me just say this, man. I am overly impressed today. And the reason why I'm overly impressed is because the one thing that I love about tournament time is, again, it takes the best aspect of one of my sports, which is football, and it puts it on the basketball court. Absolutely. You got to put your best couple of games together consecutively in order for you to win the whole thing. And that's what I love about it the most, man. But shouts out to the grown man ball that's being played. If you don't have a go-to scorer, you better run some good sets. And that's just that simple. And if you cannot make 3-pointers, you're going to be home early. It's just that simple. I'm loving it. I don't think there's anything else that I didn't expect it to come back this dramatically.
Right.
From last year. Like some of the upsets. I mean, the Oral Roberts, shout out to them. They got a walking bucket on their roster.
Yeah.
He's a problem on the court. And that's a big difference in stretches throughout the game, as we can see. So pass it back to you, Big Shot, because we got plenty to talk
about. I think, Jeremy, to continue this point, and this is something that I've kind of talked to y'all about in a group chat, and if you cannot shoot, you can't play in this modern basketball.
Nope.
Point blank. I don't care what your vert is. I don't care what your length is. I don't care how crisp that handle is. This is a shooting sport now. Everybody on the court has to be able to shoot the basketball. Period. It used to be like a luxury if your big man can shoot. Now, your big got to shoot. Everybody has to shoot the ball.
Let me put y'all on some game. You probably, unless he's extremely special, you probably won't ever see another one and done win a title unless he has an old school type of game. Because this is what people fail to realize. The NCAA is a great segue to prepare you for overseas basketball. AAU prepares you for the pros. Let me repeat that. The NCAA prepares basketball players to go overseas and play. AAU prepares them for the pros. The style of play, the up and down, the one-on-one activity, we're just trying to get shots up in as quickly as possible, quality shots up with quality time as quickly as possible. That's AAU ball. Well, turn on the NBA, what do you see? The same thing. When you look at NCAA, you got to know how to play. You got to have IQ. You got to have guys who are skilled at every position. You got to have guys who can rebound the hell out the basketball. You got to have guys who can stay in front of their man in pressure because you got 4 people that's in the help side who can stay in the paint as long as they want, which means if you don't have 5 shooters to get that guy out the paint, yeah, like Jerm said, you better execute the hell out of what you call.
I literally watched UConn fall victim to the fact that they couldn't get anything done in the half court against Maryland. That half court was terrible. Then they couldn't knock down open jumpers. The drive and kick wasn't working. Everything. It was just a terrible offensive conundrum. That's what we're going to call it, a conundrum. It was terrible.
And also, too, one of the things that, is sad, but one of the things that we see a lot of in the NCAA is teams that are making it far that you may not know about. They all have a shot maker. It's the difference between having a shooter and having a shot maker. Here's the difference. A shot maker, fuck your defense. They're going to make the shot. That's the difference. When you got guys who can, off the dribble, put a hand up, it still don't matter. Or in help side defense, it still don't matter. Think about Kemba Walker when they went on that run. He made shots. The defense was there. There's nothing else you can do against something like that. You need a shot maker in this league. As much as I love Cade Cunningham, he's going to be perfect for the pros. He's not a shot maker. He's a playmaker. And when you're a playmaker, you need to have a shot maker around you in the NCAA tournament in order to win. Hence the reason why he's home early.
And I'm gonna get specific to Trav. And to your point, you talk about shot makers. The most impressive team I've seen these 4 days just played their first game today. Oregon.
Oh yeah, Oregon.
Listen.
Bunch of shot makers.
I feel bad for Iowa because that wasn't the number 7 seed they played today. Mm-mm. That is a 5 or higher seed in any other year. Oregon, and to MJ, to your point, they had them everywhere. They spread you out too quick, too fast, and we all making buckets. The first half of that game was, and Iowa eventually just kind of Garza could only do so much. But Oregon is how the game is played now. We don't care about your 6'11" big.
With size, with length.
This is 6'4" to 6'8". And everybody can put it on the deck. Everybody can finish at the rim. We kick it out. Everybody can shoot this ball. Like how Oregon plays, that's the best 40 minutes of basketball I've seen this entire weekend with what they did today. Trav, I said Oregon. What's another team that you watched this weekend? You were like, oh, okay.
Hey, man, I'm not going to lie, man. As much as we got a couple of people that don't like their culture there, Syracuse put it on these folks, man.
Yeah.
Syracuse is that one team in the tournament. They do this every 2 or 3 years. They have the right size. They have the right length, playing their 2-3 zone that confuses everybody. and they have at least one shot maker. This shot maker they got,
Happen to be
what they got?
daddy's son.
Yeesh. That boy hit 4 in a row, walked back down like I'm a bucket.
He was
I'm
shooting,
a bucket.
he was shooting from the S in the March
In
Madness.
the March Madness. No, not the first one. The second one. That's the first where it got the we started. I'm talking about stroke. Shock. I mean, Syracuse has impressed me, and of course, Lloyd Chicago, the way they got the lead, took it, and never gave it back. I'm talking about I never seen a number one seed get stiffed arm in the face like that. I'm talking about every time they was getting close, get back. Come up by 4, get back.
Mm-hmm.
Down by 7, you down by 11 again. Oh, you come back by 3, get back. You down 10. Every time, man. Every time.
What about you, John? Team
It
that
was
you
it was Oregon. It was Oregon for me too. Because as I said when we did the preview show, I felt like Oregon was going to be a lot for that bracket in general. I felt like Oregon was the second best team in that this specific bracket. It just feels like number one, just what you said, 6'4" to 6'8". We all can put it on the deck. We all can shoot it, and not only that, we all make free throws. Like every part about that team, I just felt was a matchup nightmare for Iowa and all the rest of them seeds. So Kansas, whoever is next, look out because they out there and they walking on folk like, oh no. But besides that, let me give a shout out to Oral Roberts, man. Let me give a shout out. That's impressive. That is really, really impressive. And I know we don't talk about this a week. We talk about them enough. But I actually got a chance to sit down again today and just watch the Zags for a whole 40 minutes.
Man.
That's a balanced breakfast. I got to say it like Trav say, a balanced breakfast. We ain't gonna say it's not a break, no fast, because everything they do, Jalen Suggs, oh my God. what? Like every time it looked like they had a chance to make a run. Jalen Suggs with the left hand or the right hand. Which one did you want?
And that's something MJ and I talked about. You know, this is early 94, before 94 Feet Light was a thing. Is we always talk about, you know, this guy's carrying a team, et cetera, et cetera. It's not necessarily a guy carrying a team. It's the guy who can stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, a 9-point lead becomes 3. Who's the guy that we get a ball to and he stops with a basket? Go to the line. Guy like, and that's to your point. That's Jalen Suggs. When that game got somewhat close, Jalen gets the ball, he attacks the rim, foul. Go to the line, make 2. Jalen gets the ball, little pull-up jumper. The lead is now 7. And that's the guy that you need. It's not necessarily you need 45 points and 38 rebounds, but you need the guy who can stop momentum. And that's what can. I got a couple of them because Drew Timmy.
Mm-hmm.
Stop
That's
the
Kevin McHale's son.
Hey,
I want to know where Kevin McHale was at when he was born. I want to know if he was playing against the Supersonics around 9 months prior to his birth. I need to know.
Throw it to him on the block, up and under, and 1.
He's so crafty out there post.
Who? What's the shoot? I forget the shooter's name.
Corey Kispert, another one.
Crispert, yes. Yes.
Hey, let me tell you something.
11 guard. The 11 guard, he does all of the little small things. Like
I'm not, but
perfect team.
It's crazy, MJ. I agree with you because what I seen. Okay, so look, I seen this happen 3 times in a minute. Jalen Suggs get the rebound, 1 dribble, ball up the court.
Don't walk it on my court.
Boom. Timmy in the post. the clap. Help. Dish out. 3. I said, no, not like that. Oh my God. Hey, that right there, MJ, I was in there like,
We've been telling them all during this season. Gonzaga is like that. Drew
They
Timme
like that.
is a pro. Everybody talks about Kispert and Suggs. Drew Timme is the reason why Kispert and Suggs can do what they do, because Drew Timme is an entire pro.
He down there working.
I like him better than Zach Collins. I'm looking at right now. He is better than Zach Collins right now.
And one more thing. Defensively. Let me give this man his flowers. I seen him switch a pick and roll 3 times in one possession. And the only thing he did was stay attached to the guard.
Stay in front.
And then slid his feet and forced a bad shot to clap. 1 pass, 2 pass, butter roll. I said, this man, these folks out here serving Thanksgiving. I seen cranberry sauce. I seen grease. I seen the mac and cheese.
They beautiful basketball.
They play basketball the way, if you could like draw it in Webster's dictionary, it will be that. That's how it's supposed to look. And also, let me go ahead and give flowers too. Since we giving flowers, I'm gonna give flowers to the Pac-12 because for whatever reason, everybody keeps saying the conference is soft or they don't play nobody. Maybe because y'all be going to sleep because they play on Western Conference time. I don't know, but let me explain something to you. They are skilled. They are tough. They execute. They run. That is tough to go against when all you're used to going against is helter-skelter, rock-em, sock-em, drawn out, execution, 5 passes before you shoot basketball. That's why the Pac-12 always shows up in these tournaments, because people is not ready for the speed that they play with. They're just not. I mean, we talk about, Gonzaga, that's a West Coast team, correct? Look at Oregon State, what they did. Look at what UCLA is doing right now, and they have to play in. Look at USC. Like all of these teams who play up tempo, all of these teams who have skill at all 5 positions, is going to make y'all pay that grit money. You got to pay that grit money for going against them. Yeah, and these other teams that's methodical and slow, or just only have 1 or 2 guys they rely on, they're at a disadvantage.
Hey man, they better stay up and start watching these West
Big
Coast
shot.
games.
I'm gonna let you get back in first, but I do have another thing to say to MJ's point when you get back in.
Oh, go ahead.
What you just said, MJ, is the exact reason right there why the up-tempo teams are winning.
Yeah.
It's simple. They're beating you with the volume of getting up the court. They're saying we're gonna run for 40 minutes. We don't stop running. We don't need to come walk up we're not doing that traditional Mark Jackson, you gonna ride this ass up this court. Hey, no, we're gonna call it what it is. I can't pause on that one because that's what they used to say. Hey, you gonna get on this hip and we coming down like this.
Yeah, but this is what that style of play does, contrary to the fast break style. You're out of a game if you start off slow, because now that takes away everything that you want to do from execution. So when a team like Virginia gets down 8 points, when a Big Ten team gets down 8 points,
come back.
It's tough. Whereas one of these West Coast teams, if they get down 10 or 11, they're not panicking because they're getting up 3 or 4 shots per minute. Good shots too. And because they have shot makers everywhere, because they focus on, bringing in guys who are skilled with high IQ. Now it's like, okay, it's just a matter of either we're going to make the shot or miss the shot. And when you make the game that simple, when it just becomes a make or miss game, you're 9 times out of 10 going to be successful as long as you put the work in on your shot.
And shout out to our boy Jay Ham. He got an early day tomorrow, so he could have joined us. The other thing that, and Trav, I'll bring you in on this one because Trav has said this since the conference tournaments. Everything we talked about, legitimate.
Yeah.
But when these games are close, you can't step to that line and make two.
Can't step up to the mic and sing.
It is almost a fact. Not an opinion. This is now becoming a fact.
It is.
You shoot poorly on the foul line,
You lose.
if the game is close, you will lose. Almost every single time. Trav, I know you have said this since last week and in years prior.
Yes.
That foul line is getting people.
It's getting people left and right. I mean, we have put it out there, man. If your guard play is not good, you're going to lose. If you ain't shooting free throws over 50%, you're going to lose. And one more thing I want to add.
Please.
I want to add one more thing.
Preach on.
You cannot be cute being a point guard handling this basketball. You got to be Patrick Beverly ugly when it come down to the last 2 minutes. The game is close. I need somebody to get this ball across half court. I need somebody to get the ball to the person that needs to get the ball, because I have seen it. Rutgers lost a game like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and talk about the why behind it though, Trav. You preaching now.
They being cute with the rock. They being cute with the rock, man. You cannot be cute with it.
It's not that just they're being cute. If you got guys that you've never played against, once again, because everybody's playing up tempo, correct?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing up tempo. That means more oftentimes than not, the guards, because they're small, they're pressing up tempo. They're pressing.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to press a whole game, you get to collect data. I'm learning. I don't care if I don't rip you for the whole first half. I don't even care if you get by me a few times with a couple of good. It's worth it for me to learn what you're comfortable with under pressure. Because the second the game is on the line, I have gotten more than enough data to know that you're going to dribble hard left and come back.
Correct.
Once you dribble hard left, my hand is waiting for you, and I have now made a play, a pivotal play.
I mean, it's been quite a few. I mean, this NCAA tournament, you got to have some griminess, especially if you that primary ball handler handling the rock. You got to have griminess about yourself, because it's too many games being dictated on the defensive end because these primary ball handlers are being shaken with the rock.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at, unless you have a Jalen Suggs, which obviously everybody don't have, and Kenny Smith made this point the other night. He was like, the guard play, he's like, in these matchups, the difference is your big school got the size.
Correct.
The big school's got the wing.
He says it's a lot.
The guard play is even. It's even. And we watched Texas and Abilene Christian. Abilene Christian forced 23 turnovers in that game. If you turnovers is the equalizer in this tournament, because you shorten the number of possessions the other team gets. If I get 23 more possessions than you because you turn it over, that's the equalizer. And to Trav's point, you're seeing guards, even at these quote unquote bigger schools, who are having trouble with not even necessarily a full court press, but just a guy playing them 94 feet off the floor.
And to what you're saying, I'll even take it a step further, Big Shot. If you are a guard 6'3" and under and you play college basketball, I don't even care if it's D1, D2, D3, JUCO. It's even level playing field.
Yep.
It really is. I've seen some D3 guards give D1 guards the absolute business.
Yep.
Like, couldn't do nothing with them.
That little guard from Oral Roberts gave Ohio State the blues. He gave Florida the blues, and he is about 5'10", about 150.
He don't care. He's in here. He don't care. Them guys care.
Look at this though. This is what I talk about when it comes to, like, you know what I'm saying, guard play or whatever. When you're so accustomed and so used to people just giving you the benefit of the doubt, because when you go to Division One, they give you the benefit of the doubt a lot of times, unless it's a team that's just known for pressing. Like if you're a Mike Anderson who just teaches press and that's just what you do, more times than not, these teams is getting in their half-court set and they're playing chess, in which the guy gets to bring the ball up the court and you don't have to collect any data on him. But the thing about it is, a guy like a guard from Oral Roberts, he's used to getting pressed. He's used to seeing boxing ones. He's used to seeing every exotic defense you can see. So there's nothing you can show him that's going to speed him up. And the reason why this turnovers is happening because of what I just said. You speed a guard up, I don't care how good he is. If he goes a little bit faster than where he wants to go, the likelihood of a turnover is going to increase.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
And most of these guards in the NCAA, you know, they still have a lot of development to do. We think just because we see them on TV, they're a finished product. No, it's a lot of work that needs to be done with a lot of these guards. And the thing about it is, these dudes are so athletic and such physical specimen, it's almost a slap in the face when they see themselves getting guarded full court, because usually they blow by that. They looking at this like, oh, this is a fast break. So after a while, when they see, okay, I can't get past them with pace, then they go a little bit faster and a little bit faster. But what they don't know is I didn't practice at that speed dribbling the ball.
There you
so
go.
Now my bag is limited.
That's and that happened to Illinois versus Loyola.
Sure did.
That's exactly what happened.
Sure did.
Loyola's guards, a little older, a little stronger,
and a little bit nastier.
A little bit smarter.
And a little bit nastier.
They got Illinois guards to speed up. They took away angles. They would beat them to the spot. And as Trav talked about it, Loyola got up. When Loyola got up 10, that might as well have been 40.
Man, what?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about every time they were breaking it down, I'm talking about stiff arm 7. Then it go up to 10.
And you also seen this. I don't know, Jerm, you big on this, MJ too. You watch teams, whether it's Gonzaga, obviously you do it different ways. But you watch teams who could come out of timeouts. Timeout, draw something up, or they go to whatever their signature play is, and they get something out of it.
Execute
every time.
I seen UConn. It was the UConn and Maryland game. Maryland drew up a play where the guard crossed over and then came back behind a 2-person screen.
Oh yeah,
got the ball under the basket.
Yeah,
and then was able to have the rim to protect them. So he just smacking the backboard. And I'm just looking like,
yeah,
this is why y'all down 12. This is why UConn is down 12. Because at the end of the day, those things matter. And MJ, please reiterate this again.
Okay.
If I'm a guard and I see all of these defenses, because I'm like that, I see this every week. So every week I'm looking like, so this week, what we got this week? Triangle and 2. So what we got this week? Boxing 1. What y'all got for me this week?
So,
and I come to the tournament and now I'm ready for it. I'm prepared.
So the beautiful thing about the game of basketball, I can't speak on behalf of all the other sports. So one sport I can, 2 sports I can speak on is this is not the case: baseball and golf. In baseball and golf, it is, you could just either just not be able to be good. It just is what it is. Basketball, it's just all about reps and exposure. You could take a guy that's not good at all, and if he's practicing with pro players every day and they're allowing him on the court to play with him every day, eventually he's going to get good. If you take a guy that can score and he's seeing all of these exotic coverages, eventually he's going to get accustomed and adapt to those exotic coverages and know what spot to go to, know what person is going to be open on the pass, going to know when to push pull out of it, going to know where he can do his step back, know where he can do his counter, because it's about repetition. And the difference between these mid-major guards and these high-major guards is these high-major guards didn't have to go through that.
And you think about Oral Roberts, Max Asmus, the little guard we talk about from Oral Roberts.
Yeah.
Leading scorer in the country. So he been at the top of the scouting report, the scout report all season. I'm sure everybody Oral Roberts played said, look, number 3 is little.
All that.
He's the one we got to stop.
Yeah.
So to MJ, your point with repetitions, he's probably seen them all. He didn't seen full court press. He didn't seen half court trap. He didn't seen boxing 1. He didn't seen it all.
And I'm gonna go even deeper on you on this. This is where we get you some real game. Those high major guards that you're seeing, most of the time they're on a stacked AAU team where all they have to do is just play a role. Most of the time their high school team is stacked where all they have to do is play a role. Which means
Man is spitting.
Hey, so which means you go up against a dog who had to get it out the mud. You go against a dog who had to figure out every step that he had to figure out. And you put him against this dude who only seen 1/10 of what this dog seen. What you think gonna happen?
Time after time. If you lost, then you. Oh, sorry. I was.
Hey,
Look.
but
That's just the way it is, though, because like you said, it's just, that dog that's seen it all. He know what it take to get nasty. These folks don't know what it take to get dirty with it, man. These folks play too clean. Hey, man, like I said, man, an ugly point guard can win you the game.
You talk about
give me the point guard. Give me the point guard that grew up playing 21 versus the one that kept getting invites to the open gyms.
Exactly.
I need the 21 guard in this tournament. I need the guard that play 21 all the time.
And Trav, we talk about that, and that's why I picked a team like Houston. You know, the Final Four.
Ugly.
Not because
playing.
Houston plays
grimy.
Everything with Houston is a fight. It's a fight. Houston may not shoot great that night. They may have a terrible offense tonight. But the one thing Houston, 2 games have shown, Houston is never going to cheat me on effort.
Right.
And they're gonna fight. And against Rutgers, they were in a fight.
Yeah, they took that from Rutgers. They were like 8-9 down with about 3 minutes to go. Yes, sir.
They were in trouble. And they dug it out. And it wasn't like a bunch of dudes ran 3s. It was they won every loose ball. They got every loose rebound. They went to the bat. Like they did everything, every little thing they had to do. And to me, and MJ and Jeremy, we've all watched enough of this tournament. When these games get really tight, it's little things. Little things.
Always.
It's always little things.
Like I was. It's so ironic that y'all saying this. I'm training a AAU team. Shout out to A3 Athletics, and you know they were having fun seeing the talent around each other. I just brought them in, and I told them, I'm like, how many of y'all actually dribble when y'all drive with y'all left hand? Y'all make the pass with y'all left hand. They looked at me like I was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't understand. If I'm guarding you and I know that you're predominantly right or left hand, the only hand that I'm going to look at is your strong one.
Yep.
So if I force you a certain way, all I got to do is just see your strong hand lift up. If it lifts up this way, I know it's a pass. If it lifts up this way, I know it's a shot. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to even let you get it up. And unless you create hella separation, I'm not going to let you get up. And that's where those small things matter.
And you know
because if you're not able to do this and do this,
and you know who does that? Who does that better? To your point, another team that we talked about, and I think all 4 of us had them in our final. Ham did it. Is Baylor. If you watch Baylor play, forget what the score is. Baylor does the right on every possession.
Yep.
Passing with the correct hand. Correct hand is in the passing lane. If a guy's supposed to take 2 dribbles and pass out, it's 2 dribbles and pass out.
It's
not 3. It's not 1. It's 2.
Mm-hmm.
They're not playing.
If I was a coach, or I ain't telling MJ how to do his job. If I coach, I would say, we're gonna watch Baylor. We're gonna watch Baylor play. Because Baylor does everything you are supposed to do. And they athletic and they tough. But just purely on how you are supposed to play, Baylor does everything correct.
Well, shout out to that coaching staff because
they do everything the way you are supposed to do it.
And when you do that, you're in a chance to win every game. And then once again, it goes back to what we said. You just want to get your team to the point where it goes back to either you're going to make the shot or miss the shot.
Yeah.
And beautiful thing about this beautiful tournament that we're watching right now, any given game, one of these teams can miss shots. It's not a 7-game series.
Number 11 for Baylor. Please watch him. Fidel.
Baylor got all they got.
He gets it on the defensive end. He gets it. I'm talking about. He don't look like he's the most in shape guy. He's a built dude, but he gets it on every defensive possession. He bucks out. He guards wherever. He knows what switches to go to. He gets it on the defensive end. And let him creep up on that screen and roll and let him run to the rim. He will punch it on you.
Punch it on your head. Hey, that's going to be the coaching clinic game. Baylor versus Loyola is the basketball camp.
Whole lot of coaching.
That's coaching clinic. That's going to be a coaching clinic. Because both of those teams do what you are supposed to do.
And
both ends of the floor.
And if I'm an NBA team that's in the playoffs, I'm taking a strong look at Vital, even if it's in the second round.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you like this: if what's the boy that just got traded from Houston to the Milwaukee with all the shoes? What's his name?
Tucker.
If Tucker can make it, this dude here can make it.
Absolutely. Not a doubt. Not a doubt. Because he understands how to bring value on the floor. And it's so fun. Like I said, salute to Baylor's coaching staff. I was watching one of their games and the announcers was talking about Baylor. And my panels can, really vouch for this. My kids can really vouch for this. I actually have a 90-10 rule. They have a 95-5 rule. I always tell my kids, it's one ball, 10 people. You're only going to have the ball at best 10% of the time. What are you doing with the other 90? And the fact that Baylor has this thing called 95%, in which they're looking at everything you do 95% of the time you don't have the ball, it's a testament to why they are who they are.
Mm-hmm.
A testament. Until you're able to master being valuable without even having to look at the ball, you're going to be limited as a basketball player. Because now it's not about just putting the ball in the basket. Now the game is emotional. If somebody looks you off, now your emotions is involved. Mm-hmm. If somebody takes the ball from you or you make a mistake, your emotions is involved. And that's what's happening with a lot of players who are used to doing what they want versus guys who are already understand the 90-10 policy and just like, this is the only way I may even get the ball.
And you
might not even if I don't go get it. So this is all I got.
and you watch Baylor play, MJ, to your point, but guys ain't got the ball. Guys ain't standing straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Dudes are constantly moving. Guys ain't just, even though they hit that and take those corner threes, a guy has moved into the corner. He ain't been standing there for 5 seconds. No.
Mm-hmm.
You are constantly in motion. Your hands are ready to catch the basket. If you're offense, your hands are ready to catch the basketball. If you're on defense, your hands in the passing lane. Like, I love watching them play, regardless of whether they win the tournament or not. If you said, hey, how do I play? If they drop the person from Alien and say, how do you play basketball? Watch Baylor.
And because of that,
that's how you're supposed to play.
And because of that, they're going to be the next Villanova. Watch, mark my words. I don't know when it's going to happen, but as long as they have those principles, they're going to be the next Villanova because Villanova does the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of Villanova,
oh wow,
they still here.
I don't know how, but Jay Wright is doing a tremendous job.
Still here.
Program. process, program, system, whatever word you want to put on.
Proof of concept. Still here. All the teams we talked about earlier this season, as far as how they play, are still here. Florida State. What's the score of Florida State, by the way? They probably up by 6.
They up 1.
They up 1.
Colorado probably shooting the lights out.
35-36.
Okay.
With 11 and a half left in the second.
Villanova, same way. We out 2 players. Yes, we wish we had those 2 players, but guess what? We will play the same way no matter who's on the floor.
They ain't put Ryan brother out there. He looked just like Ryan.
Yeah. Just find another
archaeologist. I thought they was done. Another archaeologist. Like, where'd he come from?
Man, they surviving in advance and they just doing what they gotta do to win, man. They doing what they gotta do to win.
Oh, I lied. It's still a coaching clinic. It'll actually be Baylor versus Villanova in the Sweet 16.
They'll sign me up.
Sign me up.
Hey, it don't stop no show. You still play. You still
the coaching
still
clinic.
Watch that. Still watch that.
Jaron, we want to bring you back into the fold. I know you were really high on Alabama, really high on Oregon pre-tournament. Is there a team after 4 days that you maybe were not as familiar with, or a team that you weren't sure about that now you like, you know what? I kind of like it now.
It's that Loyola Chicago. Woo.
I'm ready to put the stimmy up for them. I'm ready to put the stimmy up for them.
Oh, child. Them folks snatching wigs off, ain't they? Hey, I like the way they play. I'm going to be honest. Like, you get the chance to go back and you get to watch the games and watch some of the stuff over. Like I said, Bama was my team. I like the tempo, like the pace. Oregon was another team, but them folks, they hooping. Again, I got to shout out to my little guard at Oral Roberts, man. He out there doing his thing.
Yeah, tough.
He put it down for us 5'9", 5'10" cats, man.
He's tough.
Hey, MJ, because you've played against this dude in any summer league or men's league.
Yeah.
He just is herky jerky. He's snapping his head up and down. It's just movement. It's just constant body movement. It's like, yo, this is too much to deal with.
You know what? This is a crossover to German views from 22. You guys talk about what you say in quarterback phone booth quickness.
Mm-hmm.
When you're a scorer, you got to know when to be fast, when not to be fast. Because if you're just fast all the time, you're going to run into help defense. And you're not going to get pro. You have to know what moves to do to just get the separation that you need based on how quick your shot is, based on how much arc your shot is, based on your release point. You have to know how much room you need to get to be able to get that shot off. And in order to get that room, if somebody is half arm distance away from you, which is where you ultimately want every defender to be, bent arm can touch you, so that way everything is there as soon as you get your shot up. What you want to be able to create the separation if you have a quick release to get a full arm's distance. Because with a quick release, you're too late, even though I can still touch you. Now, if you have a slower release or you have a lot of hops, you want an arm and a half distance. So now you use your length, because usually people who need an arm and a half distance, they're long and athletic, so they use their length to be able to do the step backs and do the long crossovers like Jamal Crawford or even Chris Douglas Roberts, since we're talking NCAA. But for the guards, everything has to be like phone booth quickness. So even though I'm not going anywhere in this little box, I know you're in front of me. If I can just do this, now I'm up and your hand is still down. And this is an open shot to me, even if you get a hand in my face late. Yeah. And the guard from Oral Roberts mastered that. And most bucket getters, like I said, this is why I say playing 21 benefits from you, because everybody on the floor can guard you if they want to once you get 19. You got to figure it out. It ain't nobody to pass it to.
One versus all.
Going to get your shot off.
Yeah, it just shows you, man. I just think the amount of skill that's in this game right now It's incredible. You know, we at 94 try to not be, I think we do a good job of not being the old heads, and this is how it was in my day, and da 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 da.
Yes.
If you
Ain't no
just
room
watch,
for that.
if you watch the amount of skill that these dudes play with,
Here,
like guys going full speed, and not even forget a Euro. Guys able to come full speed, go off the wrong foot, finish with the wrong hand, finish with the wrong hand, finish at the basket. My man at Baylor with the mullet, with the 1985 mullet. Now, you look at him, right? 6'8", 6'9", about 200 pounds, kind of thin. But he can put it on the deck.
He can do what you want. He can do what you need.
And that's a 6-man. That's not a star player. But he at 6'9", about 200, put it on the deck.
and Big Shot, since you brought it up, I have to call it out. I try not to, but I had to call it out. The reason why people of our generation missed the way it was played in that generation, because you were not expected to be as skilled as you are expected to be now.
Yep.
Back then, you can bully your way into the court. You could punk somebody and get in their head and threaten and choose violence, in which now they're focused on protecting their livelihood or focused on having to fight back to where they're not focused on getting a bucket. The difference between now and the 90s is real life gangsters was playing.
Wow.
Who really was about that life was playing, who will really knock you out. And I don't care how skilled you are. If you put a shot up in the back of your mind, this dude might hit me in my teeth or hit me in my nuts as hard as he can, that's going to distract you quite a bit.
Exactly.
So now that it's just that, now that part of the game is out the way, now guys can just focus on skill. And you don't have to be, the proverbial tough guy. Even though, to me, toughness is about executing under duress. Toughness is about keeping your composure. Toughness is about not swinging or throwing a cheap shot. That's in my opinion. Yeah. But they don't have to worry about that element anymore back in the 90s. But a lot of dudes in the 90s who was very limited in their game became a factor, because if you add the fact that they might just knock you out, now they can stay on the floor. Because
they had that was a role. Your physical, your enforcer.
Mm-hmm.
That was a role. But now
it ain't that.
You could be physical. You could be a physical enforcer, but can you knock down this? Can you knock down?
Still need a skill.
Can you knock down this 3 off this?
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you can,
like boy, you go he hit that corner 3 and knows he don't shoot from nowhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, fellas, we're going to wrap up. I know I'm trying not to look at it. I know we got a couple more games to wrap up tonight, but as we wrap up, let's do this. How your final 4 picks look? I got 3 left. How many y'all got left?
I got 4. I still got my 4 left.
Your 4 left. Jeremy, how many you got left?
I got 3 left.
You got 3?
Didn't make any picks. What I am doing right now is I am simply studying who's going to make it to the Sweet 16, and I'm going to try this 8-game parlay on FanDuel. That's what I'm trying to do. Flip this stimmy. I'm trying to flip this stimmy. So right now, because the first 2, gambling on the first 2 weeks is really just like
because
you don't know what's going to happen.
Lawyer Chicago and Oral Roberts would mess you up.
But man, Jay put the stat of every seed won a game except the 16. There was there was a 15, a 14.
14 from 1 through 15, everybody won. Only
there was a seed that won.
Only one was 16. That's amazing, man. That is amazing.
But the game is caught up though. Like these dudes that's on these mid-major teams, when they was in high school, they already seen these dudes before. They ain't worried about them. And now that they older, because they have to stay 2 or 3 years, and they seeing these little dudes who used to play 15U and 14U, they looking at them like, oh, that's a baby. That's baby food. I'm not worried about him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm worried about him for. In fact, I can't wait to play it because even though ESPN got him ranked top 10, he looking at like lunch to me. I know what he is. That's lunch.
Yeah.
So I see if you really about what you want. And the ones that's really about that has showed they about that. Even though K got had to leave early, he's really about that.
Yeah.
He's really about that.
Yeah, Jalen is really about this winning life.
Yes.
Yes. And next year, Chet Holmgren, wherever he goes, he's really about that too. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. He will probably win a national title wherever he goes. He's really
that's gonna be. I mean, that's a whole nother show because you know how we have like our 94 feet of off season. College basketball might need an off-season show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because as MJ, as you know, our man G2, Worldwide Less, with this transfer rule and this sort of being a free year for everybody, we might hey, this spring.
Let me tell y'all something. I've seen Chet Holmgren up close and personal. Barring injury, I have never seen anybody with the shot blocking timing of him since Anthony Davis.
Yeah. That game I saw versus Amani Bates, I was like, oh.
Impressive.
But the thing is,
a little thin, but other than that,
that's the only thing you can say is that he's thin.
That's
like
it.
Skill, IQ, like he ain't forcing out one shot. That was even scarier to me because I'm like, this dude getting everybody involved. He ain't take a bad shot the whole time that I watched. I watched him 5 times. He didn't take one bad shot.
Mm-hmm.
So you want selfish and you beating up shots? No. Yeah, that's a problem.
So as we get ready to wrap up, it looks like Michigan got by the game I thought they were going to have trouble with. I thought they were going to have trouble with LSU. They survived that test.
Good.
Germs, Alabama team looks like it's gotten comfortable with Maryland as we lead, 11-point lead.
Yeah, they get comfortable with them folks. They weren't supposed to be there anyway.
Who, Maryland?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
UConn, they was out there playing like UConns. That's what they was out there playing like. Who even drives UConns anymore?
We got USC, Kansas to finish the night off. Which I think we talk about if you want to do some early NBA draft scouting.
Mm-hmm.
Evan Mobley looks like Chris Bosh to me. Like it's like looking in the mirror to the young one.
Mm-hmm.
So if y'all want to do some scouting, look at that. We will be back. Keep your eyes posted. Thursday is the NBA trade deadline. We working on how we gonna handle that. Friday, we're gonna preview the Sweet 16 on Friday Fun. We get the extra day because the Sweet 16 actually doesn't start until Saturday. So Friday, we're gonna preview the whole Sweet 16.
I get to pick my parlay.
Money
and we get to figure out if it was any trades, any moves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we have a balanced breakfast for y'all.
We got a balanced breakfast. 1-800. He might change his Zoom name from Stim Rummy to 1-800 Money MJ operator standing by. Gamble responsibly. If you're not over 18, don't do it. We got to put that disclaimer out there for the people. So notifications on. Follow all the platforms. 94 Feet of Life to Facebook group. The Scene, capital T_HE, all capital letters SCEN. Scene Facebook fan page. Subscribe to the YouTube. Notifications on. Follow the Facebook page. Notifications on because it's gonna be a busy Thursday and Friday for sure, man. Shout out Germ. Shout out Jay. Shout out Trav. Shout out brother Jay Ham. He'll be back joining us later in the week. Worldwide Less, our main G2. All the 94 Feet of crew signing out.